jump on and tell you guys about some of my favorite ways to treat allergies at home. So many of you have heard of nettles. Stinging nettles are basically a weed that grow just about anywhere in America. It's very common, and if you're growing it at home, you've got to make sure that you put them in maybe a far corner of the yard or somewhere so that your animals and your kids don't get stung by the nettles, because they will sting you. So they look like this. If you've seen them fresh, they're a big leaf, and they're on a stalk that's a square. And see, mine have already gone to seed right here, so if you can see, there's some seeds on there. And this is actually how I trim them, is I just cut them off and then gently put them in my basket and bring them inside. So nettles are very nutrient dense, and they're really high in mineral content. So they're high in iron, they're high in magnesium, and protein. They're actually really high in protein as well. So it's something that, especially those of us that have bad water or have an RO filter, we're getting depleted of minerals, so we need to add that back into our diet. And nettles is a really easy way to do that. They also are a natural antihistamine. So that's great, especially because in the springtime, they're everywhere. They grow really abundantly and really easily. You don't have to really take care of them much for them to be happy. And so you can add them to your food that you're eating. You can take them as a supplement. So you can do it any which way you want, but let me show you how we do it here. So I use the dried nettles like this. I dry them, and then I put them in a jar. And I like to add them to like a steeping water. So I'll take probably about 2 tablespoons like this and add it to a tea strainer. And then I will put some water right over the top of that, as such. And then that's going to go in my refrigerator overnight. And that'll just steep overnight. And then I'll drink that, tomorrow throughout the day. The other thing you can do with that water is it's well known that you can do a hair rinse with nettles. Nettles is really good for keeping your hair nice and shiny or stimulating growth. Anybody that's suffering with some, damaged hair, nettles is a great way to help your hair. So you would do that, maybe put that rinse, do the same thing with your cold water in the fridge, and then do one for you to drink and one for you to rinse your hair out with. The other thing I like is I actually have 2 of these here, but we use this often. This is a little dried nettles and garlic and salt seasoning. So this is called salt of the earth, and it's wonderful on everything. So you can season your chicken, your eggs, anything you want with this seasoning, but you could make that at home too. You could just do, your dried nettles and put it in a jar with some sea salt and some garlic powder, and you would be good. You can also buy nettle tea. So that's another way to get it in, just easy to purchase that. Or there's these supplements that are nettle leaf, and this other one is called dehisce. It's got nettles in it as well. So all of those things are great ways to get nettles in you, especially if you suffer from allergies, or if you just are looking for a mineral boost. It's good to be replenished of these minerals that we are lacking in our diet. So the nettles are great for all different types of histamine reactions. So that can be seasonal, that could be mild food allergies, that could be mold allergies, all sorts of things, animal allergies. Nettles benefit for all of those things. So let me show you how I cook with them. So these are my fresh nettles out of the garden. And basically, I just take here, I don't know if you can see me over here, the leaves, and I trim them off and put them very carefully. You don't want to get stung. And obviously you cannot eat these fresh, because they will hurt. They're not, you can't do that. You just can't do that. So you have to cook them or you have to dry them for you to eat them. So I would take my nettles like this, fill up my pan, and saute them in some butter. I've already got some butter or olive oil, whichever you prefer. And I would just let those simmer on my stovetop, and then you could either put that with scrambled eggs or what else could you put those on? We do a lot of eggs. I've seen my kids put the dried nettles like this on top of pizza or anything that they wanted, just to get it in them. So you could make it kind of like a wilted spinach. That's what it's going to taste like. So they're flavorful, great. It's a good thing to add to your diet. So if you want to learn more, please visit my website, stephaniewebconsulting.com. And I have a free PDF on there as well of all my favorite resources for you to learn more. Thank you.